vodka. Change for us all.
Isn't it?
Restart.
Big move in Bitcoin then, in contrast to all the notes I wrote pre-show, which were telling me that this was going to put Bitcoin under pressure.
The narrative that perhaps this launch of these political meme coins will sap flows from Bitcoin is showing us that it's really not the case this morning. If anything, it's just accelerated the momentum and the excitement around cryptocurrency under another Trump
Hello.
Hi, Dewald. What is all this FOMO about? Should I buy Bitcoin now?
Are you smoking your socks? You should rather watch my show. You should rather watch my show. Here we go. All right, legends, welcome to another live stream. Hope you all had a fantastic evening, afternoon. I know I've got people from all over the world watching the live stream from different time zones. And let's analyze the price of Bitcoin here together. Excuse me, let's look for those high probable trading setups. Okay, yesterday's trade actually played out, right? I was expecting a little bit of a correction and continuation to the upside, and then after the live stream, price dumped and hit the TP to the downside, even with my position protected. So for those of you that did take the trade and left their TP where they were supposed to take profits, well, you now have a successful trade in the bag. Right, legends, it was this little dumpy dump here on the 1 minute time frame that we played out yesterday. Okay, well, actually on the 15-second time frame, we were scalping like little snipers, right, legends? This is more or less, I think this is the zone where we entered, right? This is where we entered. I protected my position just after the live stream. The target was the low, and we took it. I took around 50% profits here somewhere. I can't remember exactly where, but then my TP got hit out of the trade, went to bed. And right, it looked like this was an ABC and it wanted to find its feet. That was the best shorting zone that I did mention, and we did hit it. Eventually we did hit the shorting zone that I was the best shorting zone. We did hit the golden pocket. When you take a fib from the high to that low, we hit the golden pocket, the 1.236 as per the analysis last night. Okay, trade played out and we got the rejection where I actually wanted to play the short from. Okay, and now epic drop here to the downside. The question is, can we now get the bounce here to the upside? Let me show you very quickly the level that I am watching at the moment. So let's jump back here onto the 5 minute time frame is fine, right, legends? Remember to smash up that like button for everyone. I see there's still more people streaming in. Okay, but guys, okay, let me cut to the chase. This low needs to hold. For the bulls, this low needs to hold. Okay, if we lose this low, we're potentially starting with a deeper correction to the downside. So this low needs to hold and we need to bounce inside of this box. Currently getting a reaction as we're hitting this box. Okay, there's a couple of ways in which we can measure it. So let's look at this structure. Let me zoom in and show everyone. Okay, so for the bulls, as per the thumbnail, are we going to get one more high? Is there a chance? Well, this is the structure that needs to hold for one more high. Okay, when you take a fib from the high to the from the low to the high, you can see that we are now tapping the maximum bouncing bullish area. As long as we don't tap the 0.88, okay, I think we have a high probable chance of maybe getting that bounce here back to the upside, right? Okay, so this is the zone that I'm giving the bulls the last chance. If you lose this low, we most probably going down. Okay, I will still speculate on longs in this entire zone, although the probabilities increase when you tap the 0.88 that you're going to take the low. There's another scenario, okay, that I want to point out, where you can even go and tap the 0.88 and still come and claim this high over here. Right, so legends, let's get into it. Okay, so 786 is the zone that I'm currently watching, just watching, monitoring the smaller time frames over here. Also from a trend-based FIB perspective, there we go. Okay, let me switch the FIB off. Retracement, these are the zones and the levels that I'm currently watching. The most two important levels was the 1.236 and the 1.382. But you can see, you know the magic number. We all know the magic number over here. Even if you tap the 1.618 and you do not take this low, I think the bulls still have a chance to the upside. Okay, and I'm basically measuring this three-wave structure here to the downside. And these two targets over here are the most common three-wave structure targets. Ideally, you don't actually want to lose and go below the 1.382 because the 1.618 is a very rare three-wave structure target. Very rare over here, okay? But there's a chance that you can go as deep. It looks like price just wants to take the low. It falls down here. People are like, oh crap, okay, I'm going to get stopped out. And it gets an epic bounce here to the upside. Breaks the trend, right? Even comes and claims the high. So this is the zone and this is the zone, right? The reason I'm pointing out these levels over here is, let me quickly just look at the structure here on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, I just want to put an alarm here. Let's put an alarm just slightly above. Okay, there we go. My alarm cannot like to be working at the moment. Why is the alarm thing not working at the moment? Oh, because I've got the pin activated. Let's try this again. Okay, I want to put an alarm just slightly above that zone over there. Right, so while I'm busy doing the analysis, if the alarm goes off, we can pay attention. Okay, we can pay attention because I want to see if we are going to swing failure from this line. I want price to dip below. Okay, not interested. If it starts trading above, this is where I get interested in a long, because then I know where to put my stop loss. Right, and cool, legends. From a structural perspective, let's go on to the 15-minute time frame. As per the update yesterday, I did highlight that the structure is in a very confusing conundrum at the moment. Is it up or is it down? And the market makers has made it particularly difficult over here because you have a potential for an impulse to the downside, a three-wave corrective structure, and now it needs to start rolling down because the impulse is to the downside. The correction is to the upside, so you want continuation to the downside. Okay, then you also have an impulse to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Contracting diagonal. It must be said that a contracting diagonal is more scarce. Okay, where a normal impulse to the downside takes priority. The problem, here's the problem. This structure is the problem. This structure still looks corrective to the downside. It looks awfully corrective because here, okay, let me clean up the chart over here quickly for everyone to see. Well, I can see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The structure to the upside and to the downside makes sense. This also looks like an ABC, three-wave structure where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's easy to count these two structures. They are just giving us mixed signals. Which one is it going to be? Is it an impulse to the upside or an impulse to the downside? Well, it's very easy. You're not allowed to take this low. Okay? That's what I'm saying. The bulls needs to keep this low intact. Right, legends. This structure at the moment is the confusing structure because how on earth do you count this as an impulse to the downside? Okay, this looks very three-wavy. 1, 2, 3. Correction up. 1, 2, 3. it doesn't count pretty as a 5-wave structure to the downside. Okay, I've also tried to say, well, what if this is maybe a double 1-2 combo? Also not the prettiest, okay, because then you want to see a 1-2, 1-2, okay, and it's so difficult to count 5 waves in that structure and 5 waves in that structure. Okay, so this is kind of the only bearish case scenario that I see at the moment, is that if it's building up a 1-2, 1-2, this wave needs to fall hard with a lot of volume to the downside, and it's not falling. It's just chopping. It's chopping, 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 which tells me that there's a higher chance that this structure is corrective and not impulsive. Remember, legends, nothing's ever for certain. It's a game of probabilities. So my probabilities are telling me that this is more than likely a corrective structure, because I cannot count a 5-wave structure. How on earth do I count a 5-wave? 1, 2. Where's 3? 3 needed to fall. Okay. It went too shallow. Now you have another impulse to the upside. Okay. So the only way is 1, 2, 1, 2. But now it's not falling. It's chopping slowly to the downside. Okay, so if this is going to turn out to be a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and maybe all of a sudden it starts falling, then we can say, okay, it was a 1-2, 1-2. It just took a while before it got the dump to the downside. But a double 1-2 combo, usually when that third wave starts kicking in, it has a massive amount of volume and it scares everyone. You know, that's how fast they go. And it's not going. So I have to give the probabilities that this is a corrective structure. So hopefully okay, well, let me rephrase. Because this is a corrective structure, there's a chance that this low could hold. And we are now getting the bounce inside of my box. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, I just want to see local CVD over here. Are we showing strength? Are we showing weakness? Okay. Right. No weakness at the moment. I actually, okay, legends, no financial advice as always. No financial advice. Okay, when I take the trend-based fib and put it back here on the screen, I actually did enter a small position over here. When we tapped the 1.236 for the first time, but I'm giving my stop loss a little bit of room to breathe, and I'm giving the bulls the benefit of the doubt. And now we have tapped inside of my green box that I was looking for. Yes, we did not tap the 1.382, I don't mind, but we did tap the 786, the 1.236, and now we're getting a little bit of momentum to the upside. So my plan for this trade, okay, guys, no financial advice, you do not have to take this trade, is the following. Right, there we go. That's my trading plan. And this is a trading plan that I shared this morning with the Legends Pro community. I told everyone I'm giving the bulls the benefit of the doubt, and I'm giving my stop loss a little bit of room to breathe. So if this is the last structure that needs to hold for the bulls, okay, I'm going to attempt a trade. Right, so I entered in this zone over here, and I'm planning to enter a little bit more over here. So I've entered with a little bit of capital over here, a little bit more capital, then I'm done. If I get stopped out, I will lose 1% of my portfolio. That's how I plan to trade. Okay, stop loss is almost 1% away. Right. And you can see that my stop loss is just slightly, ever so slightly below the low. Right, depending on how you want to exercise and practice good risk management. So I need to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt. Also, when I look at CVD here on the 15-minute time frame, okay, I do spot myself a little bit of bullish CVD building up over here. So technically, for me, if I'm robotic about the trade, I need to take technicals into consideration to take a trading decision. So it looks scary here to the downside. It looks like it wants to take the low. But I have bullish CVD. Okay, bullish, a double confirmation. As price is tapping, you know, falling here to the downside. We are tapping third wave targets over here from a trend-based fib, trend-based fib extension perspective, or from a fib extension perspective, and then from a fib retracement perspective, we are tapping the 0.786. And you can see that's exactly now where we got the bounce. So let me clean it up for everyone. Right, you have now tapped the 786 from a FIP retracement perspective inside of the box that I was paying attention to. So I need to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt. Remember, this is why I have a stop loss, and I want that stop loss to get hit. If price falls down here and it hits my stop loss, I'm out, because it could get really nasty to the downside, and I don't want to be that person that keeps on adding to my position, hoping for the best and biting my nails, stressing, sleepless nights. We've all been through that. Okay, I'd rather let the stop loss get hit. Okay, and because there's not a lot of support to the downside, the only area of support where we have a naked point of control is at $99,268. So if I zoom out here a little bit to show everyone, okay, there's still an untapped level here at $99,000 inside of this consolidation area. So if price does take the low and it starts falling, I don't know if this is going to be that bounce. There's a higher chance that if you lose this low, that it's going to be this type of bounce, just continuation to the downside, but I can still take advantage of that move. This is why I do not mind my stop loss being hit over here, because I don't want to be underwater with such a big dump to the downside. I'd rather get stopped out and wait for the next trading opportunity. Right. Cool. Remember, legends, down in the description. Oh, I need to open up. I need to open it up. Right, let me open up my YouTube. I forgot to open up my YouTube. That is not the right one. Not that one. YouTube, let's go. Right, legends, remember, down in the description, I've got the best exchange, well, the best deals that the exchanges has to offer. I've got down in the description. I see Andy did an update as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Andy also did an update. I haven't had a chance to watch Andy's update just as yet. Okay, so here we go. Right. Yes, I tried to do something a little bit different with the thumbnail, but legends, down in the description, okay, you've got BTCC up to $10,000 sign up bonus activities that you can complete your first deposit, your first trade, and money gets airdropped into your features account. Okay, and you all know that I took a couple of trades yesterday on the BTCC account, and today the trade that I've highlighted over here, I actually took on weeks. Let me see if I'm still in that trade. I think yes, I'm still in that trade. Right, legends. The best deals that these exchanges has to offer, links always down in the description. For those of you that want to trade on weeks, 20% of the money that you deposit in your features accounts, or features account, gets airdropped back into your account to trade with for free. You also get 25% discount on the trading fees. Okay, and then bluffing here as well. With all three of these exchanges, all you need is an email and a password to sign up. It's also your way to support the channel, enabling me to continue bringing you guys the technical analysis on a daily basis. Okay, cool. And for those of you that did sign up yesterday, I saw there's a couple of people that signed up yesterday with BTCC over here. Thank you so much. Let's get back here into the technical analysis. And maybe before I continue, let me take some comments, or let me go through some comments and say hi to the community. Let's go back all the way. Mr. Sockman, welcome to the live stream. Let's go, Dewald. Yes, did we break the 786? Yes, we just did now, right? We just tapped it now. We got a nice, beautiful reaction. Hi, Dewald. Elizabeth, welcome to the stream. Legends, Mr. Pac-Man, moderator in the house. Always appreciate the support here, moderating the comments. Hi, Dewald. Irina, always great to see you here. Rudy, morning chartist. By exception, I can be in the morning stream. Nice, yes. Vericide? Hello, Dewald. Hello, Legends. Welcome. Me too, boss. The legend himself, Sin Games. Another mod here in. Good morning. You beautiful legends. Good morning, everyone. Hello from Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, I've got people from all over the world watching and smashing up that like button. Thank you so much. You are a legend, most informational content. Thank you. I really appreciate the kind words. Okay. I try my best. Okay. I'll never say that I'm the best because I know that I'm not the best, but I do try my best. Okay. To bring you guys as much education and teaching you why. For me, that's the most important aspect of trading. Dewald, why are you taking the trade? Not just, oh, Dewald is taking the trade, let's all take it together, but you have no idea why you took the trade. You have no idea where to take profits, but also why I'm taking profits at certain levels. You have no idea where to put your stop loss, okay? So for me, it's very important that you, the community, understand the why behind everything that I do over here. And this is why I'm so heavily focused on education, so that perhaps one day, okay, not so far from now, you don't have to watch anyone's live streams to take those successful trades. Okay, I do, however, recommend that you belong to a community. It is really, really refreshing to be able to surround yourself with like-minded people, because the trading game becomes very lonely, and it's nice to have like-minded people to share ideas. Maybe you see a level that they are watching that you didn't take into account, talk a little bit of crap to each other. So it is really nice to belong to a community, and that's something that I continue to do even when I was already a profitable trader, is that I still belong to a community, because it gets very lonely. Staring at the chart all by yourself gets really lonely. Okay, right, Legends, and for that, I've got a link down in the description if you'd like to come and join our Legends Pro community, okay? And we've got some really, really good traders inside of our community. They are absolutely smashing the trades, sharing their P&Ls on a daily basis, and helping each other. I think that's what I really enjoy, is how everyone helps each other out. Okay, cool. I think that is enough comments for now, Mr. Jack. Hey, Legends, okay? I'm not missing your comments anymore. I make a point of reading your comments. Right, let's go. Mr. Willifeed, hi, Dewald and Legends. Welcome, welcome. Will that 0.786 now hold? Well, you're asking a question that no one has the answer for, okay? The best question is, can you enter with good risk management, plan the trade, know where to put your stop loss, why did you enter, and where are you planning to take profits? Okay, will it hold? I don't know. Can I enter? Yes. Do I know where I'm going to put my stop loss? Yes. Do I know where to take profits? Yes. So now the market needs to do its thing, because that's out of my control. The only thing that's inside of my control is applying my trading strategy. Okay, the only thing that's inside of my control is applying my trading strategy, and this is the trade that I am planning. There you go. I don't know if the 786 is going to hold. Why am I entering the trade? Because we're hitting very interesting areas of support here to the downside. This is, the 786 is regarded as the maximum bullish bounce. This looks like a three-wave corrective structure. It's not falling hard to the downside. When I take a trend-based fib extension, we're hitting the 1.236 here to the downside. So it's an area of support that I am interested in. I know that this is the last chance for the bulls to get a bounce. So this is my trade. I'm not risking more than what I can afford to lose. I have planned it. I know why I'm entering. I know where to put my stop loss, and I know where I'm going to take profits. That's all I can do as a trader. Okay. Will the 786 hold? I don't know. This is why I have a stop loss in place. Okay, but it's a game of probabilities at the end of the day. So based on my analysis and the probability that I see with the structure, I'm willing to play along. Okay, like I've just explained during the beginning of the stream, what are the probabilities of this structure? It still looks awfully corrective. If it wants to fall, let it fall. I will get stopped out and I will look for a next trading opportunity down here, like I've explained. Okay. Right, Legends, yes, you might be asking yourself, well, Dewald, why is your TP so low? What if we do get the bounce? What if we do get the bounce and it just goes and it claims the high? You guys know that I'm a type of trader that likes to pay myself on the way up, okay? Because this could also be a W, X, Y, and and then it forms another W, X, Y, and then the correction just continues sideways. Okay, so this could be forming a longer corrective structure because you could have WXYs within WXYs made up of multiple ABCs, and that's how you get long corrective structures. I don't know what the price is going to do. Okay, so I'm not going to be that type of person that says, that's it, that's the trade, guaranteed. Okay, it gets the bounce, and you're like, woohoo, nicely in profits, and then it falls down again, and now you're back underwater, and you didn't pay yourself. Okay, so for me, the obvious level is if I mark out my daily levels, I've got my weekly levels, monthly levels, okay, the first major area of resistance to the upside is this daily level, and that's where I plan to close my position. I can tell you now that I will TP on the way up, and this is my plan. So let me take the brush, the pencils here out the way. This for me is a TP1, TP2, I'm out. I don't care if it goes higher. Maybe I'll leave a moonbag open. Maybe I'll leave 10%, 15% of my position open for higher levels, and then I'll TP3 at the high. Okay. Cool. What else? What else? Can you tell me how to... guys, I need to delete this comment. Please, this person that's trying to ZAX I1Z token is either a bot or someone trying to scam you guys. So please do not pay attention to that. I've just deleted the comment. Okay. Some people actually asked me the other day, Dewald, why do you have a time delay for people to, well, why do I have to be subscribed to your channel in order to make a comment? Okay, it's not because I'm trying desperately to catch subscribers. It's to block, as best as I can, the bots. I can tell you guys now that if anyone can make a comment that is not subscribed, you must see the bot attacks that comes in over here. Okay, they absolutely take over the comments, trying to scam everyone out of their money. So I put the 1 minute, sometimes even the 5-minute delay on there that you have to be subscribed in order to make a comment to try and block the bot attacks that I get here on the live stream. And most YouTube influencers actually use that feature to try and minimize the bot attacks that comes into the live streams. Okay, so that's the reason. Okay, cool, legends. If price dumps to the downside, the only area of support that we have is the naked point of control over here. Okay, if I zoom out a little bit just to show everyone and I switch on my session volume profile, this is where I get the level from. So wait for that to load up. And then here you can see this day over here, this is where the most amount of volume was traded. So if price does fall here to the downside, the only time I will be interested in a long is what happens over here. Does it dip below and get acceptance back above? That I will enter, okay, seeing the sign of strength with my stop below the low. And as soon as you start hitting resistance, the underbelly resistance of the area or the scene of the crime, okay, you've lost it. Sometimes, often what happens, you backtest the scene of the crime and you continue the momentum to the downside. So I'm looking to take advantage of that move, not that. Okay, it's just not how I trade at the end of the day. Right, legends, to the upside, well, we have now discussed the longing opportunity that I'm currently watching. Another thing that I want to highlight here on the 15-minute time frame is that if this is, okay, let's zoom into this structure. Let me take this FIP out the way. If this is a WXY that is now coming to an end, okay, let's just say this is one of the corrective structures that I'm looking at the moment. What if this is a WXY? Okay, if I take a FIP from the high to the low to see where did X get rejected, the X got rejected at the 786. And the rule of Elliott wave theory states that if your X got rejected at the 786, it increases the probabilities that your Y is not allowed to take the low of W. So do you see where I get my probabilities from? I look at the structures, I look at WXY, I look at the 1, 2, 3s, I look at the contracting diagonals, and based on everything that I'm seeing, I will then say, okay, this trade for me is worth taking or speculating for long to the upside. So if this is a WXY, this Y, because of this, because X tapped the 786, is not allowed to take the low of W. Okay? Or it's preferred. It's not an invalidation, but it significantly increases the probabilities because of how deep X went that your Y is not going to take the low of W. Okay. Now, there's another way to count the structure. Okay, I'm just going through all the scenarios so you can see how I'm building up the probabilities. Okay. Your X needed to reject at the golden pocket or even lower. If your X was here or your X was here, then you have a high chance that you're going to form a WXY that takes the low of W. But when your X retraces to the 786, then you can even fall down here just before you claim the low and you can jump back up. Okay. Now, another scenario that I'm watching is to say that, well, what if this is an ABC to the downside? Okay. A, B, and we're now going down for a C wave. Okay, and this is why this area is still interesting to me. This is why the zone is still interesting, because all of this can still be corrective and you could still get an epic bounce over here that takes you back to the high. But there's a problem. It's unfortunately not an invalidation. Your C waves, okay, are very aggressive. They usually have a high amount of volume and they have 5 wave structures. And now I've already told everyone the problem that I see over here. 1, 2, 1, 2, and now it needs to fall. It really needs to start falling aggressively right now. Selling pressure needs to start kicking in. Okay, and then this is the zone that I'll be looking for potential long. Right, and now this is concerning. It's chopping to the downside, and even when I zoom into the 1 minute time frame, 30 seconds time frame, I struggle to count 5 waves in here. And now this has to be another 5 waves in here, and the only way is 1, 2, 1, 2. It's not falling. Okay, it's a little bit concerning that it's not falling, but it's not an invalidation. Okay, so if this is an ABC, which now for me carries lower probability, I can never guarantee any scenario. I can just come up with probabilities. Because this structure is so slow and grindy to the downside, I'm giving the ABC a lower probability, and I'm giving the WXY a higher probability, because a Y wave can end in a double zigzag. 1, 2, 3, correction. 1, 2, 3, and now you expect this low not to be taken and get a bounce to the upside. So based on all the scenarios, the corrective structure scenarios that I'm going through over here, okay, the WXY has the highest probability. And remember, it's all a game of probabilities at the end of the day. And if the WXY gets invalidated, then, it's one of those where you get stopped out and you look for next trading opportunity, because no technical analysis is perfect at the end of the day. But based what is happening right now with the data that I have available at the moment, it looks like this could be a WXY, because this structure looks awfully corrective and it looks like a 3-wave or a double zigzag structure. It's not impulsive to the downside unless it starts falling right now. Then we can say, okay, it was just a double 1, 2 that took its time. It took a while to get drunk. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, chopping, and then it falls to the downside. High selling pressure starts kicking in. Okay, but based on what I see at the moment, WXY low is going to hold, hopefully, and I'm looking for a bounce in this zone to at least come and take profits here by the daily level. I will leave some of the position open to come and claim the high over here. Right, legends, that is basically what I have over here, okay? Just wanted to look at Ethereum over here quickly. I saw there was a couple of people that jumped into the ETH trade yesterday based on this little trend. I just want to show everyone why it's so important to take profits on the way up. Because if you played this break of trend over here, okay, and something interesting to note is the trend was over there. And then I posted a trade on ETH over here. And I said, guys, because it was consolidating here against the trend. And I said, guys, if it closes a 15-minute body candle above the trend, I will enter. If it doesn't, I'm not entering. And what happened? It did not close. Okay. It did not close a body above the trend. And if you did enter with these little wicks over here, you would have been stopped out if your stop was below the low. Okay, very important. And then we did get the breakout. And my rule, this is the rule that I apply on my D lines, is that as soon as you take the low, like we did, I need to adjust my trend. And I adjusted my trend over there. Okay. And then I saw some people jumped into this trade, the ETH trade over here. Stop goes below the low. You take a fib. Okay, this is what I like to do from the high to the low. And look at where it got rejected. Exactly. Okay, it got a reaction at the 0.382. Let me just take this out the way. People are going to get confused. It got a reaction at the 0.382. Okay, almost 0.382. But then it rejected at the 50% Fibonacci. And if you did not take profits at the pivots over here, hopefully you protected your position. You would now be stopped out. Okay. And all I'm trying to highlight over here is it's never guaranteed that when you play a breakout, you're going to come and take the high. Never guaranteed. This is why you have to identify areas of resistance on the way up and pay yourself. Protect your position when you're nicely in profits, at least. Okay. Because now we formed another trend. Okay, this pivot actually gave us the ammunition for another, or the tools for another trend that's forming over here. So ETH is in a no trade zone at the moment, unless you want to zoom into smaller time frames, and you could potentially argue, well, maybe I can catch this little breakout before the breakout. Okay, exactly what happened over here. So maybe if ETH can break out over here, then you have beautiful risk management. If it comes to the trend where you're supposed to take profits, you can protect your position. Now you have a free trade. So you don't have to stress about playing this breakout. You already TP one over there. You're already TPing one over there. Okay, so it means you already have a little bit of profits. Maybe you take 50%, 40% profits over here, and you just leave the rest of the position to then go and claim the high. If you get stopped out, then you get stopped out at break even, but you get stopped out with how much ever profits you took over here. Okay, right, legends, remember to smash up that like button for the education, for the alpha over here. And that is basically what I have for everyone. Right, Andy the legend himself. Hey, let's go Dewald. Insane alpha here. Yes, Andy, yes. The alpha is shared over here, but I have learned a lot from you as well over the last couple of years. If you guys have not checked, guys, I'm not sure if everyone here knows Andy, but if you guys have not checked Andy's channel, okay, go and give him a follow. Mr. Andy is an absolute monster when it comes to smaller time frame analysis. Right, go and give this sexy, handsome dude here a follow. He also loves to post pictures of his abs and, you know, his muscles and doing funny things when he dances. Right, no, just joking. Go and give Andy a follow if you do not know who Andy is. What I'll do is I'll also post the link for his channel here right in the description. Let me do that quick. Mr. Andy in the house. Let's go. Here we go, guys. Go and check out Andy if you haven't checked out his channel yet. Right, legends, this is basically what I'm looking at the moment. Okay, let's just quickly summarize. We have bullish CVD building up at the moment. We have a double confirmation. I think there's a high chance that this could be a three-wave corrective structure, a WXY X retrace to the 786, reducing the probabilities that your Y is going to take the low of W. The reason I say that is this looks awfully corrective. It does not look impulsive, so I have to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt. The trading scenario that I'm looking at is this little bad boy over here. I'm giving my stop loss a little bit of room, okay, because it could still get weaky here to the downside, and maybe it gets continuation here, right? I want to see what's going to happen here when it breaks trend. This is potentially an area where I start taking profits. If it breaks out and it does a retest, this is where I add back in my position. Maybe it builds that little bull flag, it breaks out again, that's where I add, and this is where I close. Okay, as soon as we hit the daily, I'm happy with the profits there to the upside. So there's many ways in which you can take this trade. Right. Andy and you, sir, are both legends. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Is your short position are still open? The short that I took yesterday? No, it's closed. I closed it. So the short that we played yesterday, Jency, right, was the short that we all played together last night was this one here on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, this is the short that we played together. Where can it have liked to be? There, here's the short. Okay. This is the short that I played, and I told everyone, I put it, if you watch the live stream, okay, this is where I entered, somewhere in this zone. My stop was above the high, and my TP was at the low. Okay. Just before the live stream ended, I protected my position. I took 50% profits. I can't remember exactly where, but I took 50% profits here somewhere, and after the live stream, my TP got hit. I'm out of the short. Okay, it was just a scalp trade, right? I just wanted to take benefit of this momentum here to the downside. I did say that we had that 1.236 level to the upside. This was the FIP pool, okay? We had that 1.236 and oops, and the golden pocket to the upside. Don't know what I did now. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Okay, also when you take a FIP from the high to the low, actually did not tap the zero. We actually just tapped the one-to-one extension, but that was the best shorting zone that I was looking for. Well, which we actually hit over there. That's where we hit it. Okay, so the 1 minute time frame is confusing me at the moment, right? That was another shorting opportunity that I identified. So let me drag this across. There we go. Let me drag this across so we can see the levels properly. Okay. This was, when I ended the stream, I said, guys, this is the best shorting zone. This was a little bit of a, where did we enter? This was a little bit of a FOMO trade, but I mean, we still hit the levels, we still hit the TP, beautiful here to the downside, but this was the trade that I was waiting for. I was sleeping during that time. If I saw this while I was awake, I would have entered the short. And I explained yesterday in the live stream exactly why I would have entered the short there, how I would have entered it, and all the rest of it. Okay, so currently getting the bounce here in the box. Let's see if this is going to play out. Cool, legends. But this is not only about the money. I love you both analysis and how you trade with protecting money and first not moonboy rubbish, and also you are sharing a lot of trading skills, value gold. Thank you so much. I mean, this is I remember your profile pic. Thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. I think it's these type of comments, you know, that keeps myself and Andy going. People sharing the love, because, you know, it is sad. We do sometimes get a lot of hate. Well, not a lot. We get some hate as well. And it does sometimes get under your skin. Okay. There's 200 people, you know, sharing the love and the likes, and then there's this one peanut, the bearish peanut in the packet, that makes a snotty little comment. And you know, it's unfortunate that those small little things does get under your skin, but I mean, when we see comments like this, thank you so much. You know, it gives us the fuel to continue coming here and giving you guys the education, the alpha, the levels that we are watching. And thank you so much for the kind words, much appreciated. Right, legends, remember, links are down in the description. Okay, let me just backtrack over here. Okay, forward track over here. There we go. Links for the exchanges are always down in the description. It's your way to support the channel as well. For BTCC, first link down in the description, where you get up to $10,000 sign-up bonus depending on how much you trade, deposit, activities that you complete. All you need is an email and a password or a cell phone number to sign up and start trading. For those of you that's already started and testing out the exchange, let me know what you think about BTCC. And thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Weeks, okay, 20% of the money that you deposit in your features account gets airdropped for you to trade with for free. You also get 25% discount on your trading fees, right? And you also have that wheel that you can spin. Okay, the more you trade, the more it unlocks spin opportunities where you can win some amazing prizes. Okay, it seems that I need to be logged in to open up the wheel, the spin wheel. And for the larger account holders, okay, Bluffin, BTC, I see a larger account holders. They love to trade with these two exchanges. Loads of liquidity. BTCC has been around for 14 years, so it's not a, you know, Mickey Mouse exchange. They've been through the ropes. Right, legends. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, being here, smashing up that like button. I will see you all in the next one. Cheers for now.